just wanted to go over part 2 of Exodus. Um, so check this out. This is in the book of Hebrews 11, and it's giving a summary, basically. This is called the Hall of Faith, usually by people. And it says, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hidden 3 months by his parents because they saw a beautiful child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. Again, we spoke about that, how Pharaoh gave a commandment for all the Hebrew males to be killed because they were growing and increasing in strength and in number. Moses was one of those children, so by faith they hid him. We talked about how by faith you can do that. You can save people's lives uh, as a according to the command of God. By faith, when he became of age, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the passing pleasures of sin, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than treasures in Egypt. He looked to the reward. Again, so he was in this Egyptian family, this Egyptian government, but he's seen his people, and he chose rather to basically align with his people and lead them out of Egypt instead of and I'm not saying when he killed the guy. We're going to talk about that. When he killed the Egyptian, he actually had to flee. When he came back, he aligned himself with the Hebrew people, and by the grace of God, through plagues and etc., Egypt was destroyed. So he esteemed the reproach of Christ, like being persecuted as a believer in Christ or a Christian or a believer in the Most High God, YHWH, greater riches. It was more valuable than treasures in Egypt that he had living in that house as the son of Pharaoh's daughter, or adopted son to Pharaoh's daughter. It's, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. By faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he who destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as dry land, whereas the Egyptians attempting to do were drowned. So again, pointing to Christ, the blood, even the pleasures in Egypt. Like he didn't want to live in that place, in that house, knowing that, you know, he was living in riches and everything like that, but his people were being persecuted by that same household. Yeah, so the person who destroyed the firstborn would have touched them, that plague of death because of the blood of the Lamb, pointing to Christ sacrificing the Messiah. And then when they passed through the Red Sea, it says the Egyptians that wanted to do the same thing, the same miracle, drowned. That's how God destroyed the Egyptian army and the Egyptian king. It was through God, them attempting to do the same actions, the same works, the same miracles. They weren't able to do it. And they were actually trying to kill the people of God. And the Egyptians. That's how they were saved. It wasn't through physical war. It was a spiritual thing. They didn't obey God and come over and destroyed them.